Let me tell you, it has been a week. Hi, my name is Kim, and welcome back to my channel where I share my trials and triumphs trying to live my best healthy life while maintaining my 100-pound weight loss. Along the way, I have followed the WW plan to lose more than 100 pounds. In today's video, we're not talking Weight Watchers specifically, although it will come up. I thought I'd share a little bit about what's going on in my life, where I've been, what I'm doing, and what is next, because let me tell you, I don't even think I know. So if you are new to my channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and if you like this video or just want to show your girl some support, give it a thumbs up. Okay, so you probably guessed by the name of this video that we have had some contact experience with COVID. Now, I'm just going to beat you to the punch and put some things up front. One, I don't want this to get political. I'm just sharing my personal experiences. Two, I am vaccinated, and I chose to get vaccinated in the spring as soon as I could for a number of reasons, but mostly to do the least harm. So I actually heard this phrase on a podcast, I think a few weeks ago, and it is, if you see someone drowning, you try your best to save them, even if you can't swim. And that's kind of how I see the vaccine. So if your views don't align with this, if you want to leave a hateful comment, just go ahead and click off. That's fine. You can join me for a meal prep or what I eat in a day. So it was the Friday of Labor Day weekend, and I decided to take Yeti, our almost 2-year-old, very feisty husky, out for just a 30-minute run. I chose not to take my phone. It just didn't seem necessary. So when I came home from this run, I had to hurry up, get ready, and pick up my kids from the bus stop. But I noticed I had a missed text message from my husband and a missed phone call from the school. And basically what they were telling me was one of my children, who both attend the same school, was exposed to COVID and was going to be on a quarantine. Now, panic mode just ensued. One, I don't want my child to be sick ever, regardless of what it is. As a mother, you want your kids to be happy and healthy. And two, I was incredibly selfish, and I'm just going to put this out there, because at that point, I was 9 days out from my first half Ironman race. I have been training for this race for 2 years. I was registered in 2020, and then it got deferred because of COVID, and then I signed up again, and I was 9 days out, and I had finished the hardest parts of my training, and I was just really looking forward to celebrating all of this hard work with my family and friends. So I knew that this potential quarantine and COVID could impact my race. My son came home, he was really upset, and I just had this pit in my stomach that it was not going to turn out the way we wanted. So the next day, we were just hyper analyzing anything that could be off. Now, at this point, based on his exposure, which was at school when he was eating lunch without a mask, which my youngest tries to eat with a mask, and it's disgusting. So come Sunday, we decide to give him an at-home test just for peace of mind. And let me tell you, that at-home COVID test lit up like a Christmas tree. I felt like I was watching a pregnancy test. So if you've ever taken one, yeah, just right away. And there was no denying that sample was positive for COVID. At that time, we also gave my youngest son a COVID test, and he was negative. But at that point, we were kind of in full lockdown until we knew what happened. Now, because at that point, my husband and I were not exhibiting any symptoms as vaccinated people, we did not have to quarantine. But out of an abundance of caution, we chose to stay at home as most as we could. Now, as the week went on, whether it was stress, anxiety, depression, I started to feel symptoms, tightness in my chest. I was what I now see as probably allergies or sinus, but definitely not feeling my best. My youngest came with just full snotty nose, so both he and I went to a drive-through pharmacy for rapid test, and then my husband also got a PCR test. Because most of the family was feeling a little off, we all went and got PCR tests. My husband went to a clinic through his employer, and then my youngest and I went through a drive-through pharmacy. My husband got his test right away. He was negative. They gave him another send-out test that was negative. But Sai and I were waiting, and so we just were operating under the assumption that we were sick as well. So it was just a tough week because I think there's a part of us thinking that we could just bypass all of this. We actually made it through the entire school year last year with 0 quarantines, 0 exposure. So it finally hit us. But to back up a little bit, when Miles tested positive, I knew at that point that my race was over. Based on the medical questionnaire I would have had to take and the athlete guidelines, I could not in good faith attend the race. One, we were traveling with my in-laws who would not be able to be in the room with us. We would have 2 kids in quarantine, and that would basically mean I would be traveling to this race alone. But as a caregiver to someone with COVID, I would have had to answer yes. Exposure, yes. There's no question on the form whether I had had a vaccine. So it was completely gut-wrenching. And I understand that this is the biggest first world problem, that I can't attend a race that costs hundreds of dollars, that I couldn't go on this little trip, and I couldn't basically have this day for me. I get that to most people it's who cares? There's more stuff going on in the world. And I get it. I know somebody whose parents were hospitalized with COVID this past week after being vaccinated. I just got a text that a friend's boss is hospitalized with COVID and has severe lung contraindications. So, it's not the end of the world, but it was still a really big loss to me. And it was just really hard because I had worked so hard, and I don't think I've shown this. And I was actually in the process of filming how I train in a week, and showing you guys what I did. But some of these weeks were 10, 12-hour weeks with a 3-hour bike ride on Saturday and a 2-hour run on Sunday plus an hour swim. I was working my tail off, and it was a bummer. It was such a bummer. So you take this situation, I'm concerned for my child. I'm desperately monitoring his fingertips to make sure they're not blue. I'm looking at another kid to make sure that he's not getting sick, constant temperature taking, yelling at them to wear masks in the house because my kids are too young to get the vaccine. I'm feeling this loss. I can't go anywhere. And so let me tell you, it was way too easy to just turn to food. Now, I did not go whole hog getting an extra large blizzard, but we went for the comfort food. We got Indian carry-out delivered. We had some ice cream. I was totally off track. And I was also coming off a period of very heavy training where I was following Weight Watchers as a loose guideline, but not really counting my points. And here I am, not leaving my house, working out about half of what I was, and just stressed to the max. And I would like to think I'm not an emotional eater. I'm more of a celebratory eater. Hey, you got an A on your report card. Let's go get ice cream. Hey, you started school. Let's go get ice cream. Hey, it's your quarter birthday. By the way, I really like ice cream, if you did not know, in addition to coffee. But mostly ice cream. So as we head into winter, it's actually much better because all the seasonal ice cream shops close. So trying to balance all of these feelings and this new reality of being at home and remote learning, working at home, not leaving the house, because until I got my negative COVID test, which, spoiler, I didn't have it, or at least we think we did it. I was running on the treadmill and just swimming in the spa. I was not even leaving the house to exercise. I just did not want to risk. I know the risks of passing it to somebody outside is so minimal, but again, just doing the least harm possible. And then obviously I was home with the kids too. So it just really wore on me, and food seemed to be the answer. So here we are, a week out from Miles's positive COVID test. The day I'm actually supposed to be racing, I would be potentially on the run course right now, and I'm sitting in my room. I did ride my bike today, totally fell. Like, I'm just like the queen of falling on my bike at this point. And it's just kind of like, what do we do next? And so the next steps are to get my kids super healthy and back in school, and to get back on track. Because to be honest, I don't feel good when I'm just like putting junk in my body. I don't think I'm one of those super health freaks where like I just need to go on a juice cleanse. One, because juice cleanses are dumb and I'd probably crap my pants. Actually, I would for certain crap my pants. TMI, sorry. Definitely like making sure we have healthy foods in the house, you know, making sure that like healthy food is easy to be prepared, and just kind of like moving forward. Because like when you're just stuck in the house, it feels like everything like outside is going on, but you've just stopped. So that's kind of what's been going on with me. I am a little sniffly, like all the grass and the ragweed and the pollen is just terrible, and I'm taking Claritin, and just Claritin, you want to send me some? But anyway, that's it. I am looking forward to my kids being back in school and filming some more amazing WW content for you. And until next time, do something you love.